Hello there everybody, and welcome back to Quest 64. In the last video, we defeated Fargo and made it all the way through Boyle Hole into the town of Brannoch. This town is the very last stop before Brannoch Castle, which is our final area of the game. Before I continue on to the castle and enter the point of no return, there's a couple of loose ends that I would like to finish up. Because we only got our wings and rested up when we came to the town, I'd like to talk to a few people. There's a couple of soldiers in these houses with the flags, and they are pretty much the only people worth talking to. But they have some really good information, so let's speak to them. 2 fortnights ago, a mysterious woman accompanied by a wicked spirit came to see the king. He became a very different person after that. King Bigus will let nothing stand in the way of his new and horrifying magic. He intends to conquer all of Keltland. His new and terrifying magic, I guess that woman has something to do with it, which is very peculiar. Are you thinking of entering the castle? No one is allowed through the main gate anymore, but there might be a way through the back. But why would you want to try? Don't tell me a skinny little runt like you would dare to challenge the king. Ah ha ha. Well, someone has to try. You people have all given up before you've even given it a try. I don't even know you guys are much soldiers, in my opinion. You don't need to go off to war if you say you're injured. But no matter, we're all doomed anyway. Jeez, talk about a depressing place. Ah, it's all over for me. So many things I wanted to do, and now there's no time. These people aren't even bothering to flee, I guess just because King Bigus is going to take over all of Keltland and there's not really any safe place to hide, which is a very depressing thought, actually. Now, they have reason to be depressed, but they haven't even tried. That's what makes me so angry. Idle chatter will get us nowhere. King Bigus is set on burning everything in sight. I hope our magic rivals up against his, or we are going to be in big trouble. If you run out of hero's drink, come back. I have plenty. A child like you shouldn't be in a hurry to die. Why, thank you, kind sir. You're able to get a healing potion which restores MP from this guy if you run out, which is a good resource if you need it. You, a magician? What's going on here? Just the other day we captured another magician, but he was older and seemed to have great powers, but I doubt that he survived our king's wrath. Aha, so our father is here. That's good news, I guess. The soldiers don't seem to think that he's alive, but I think that he is, or so I hope, or that would make our whole journey pretty meaningless, really, to be honest. That's what we set out to do in the first place, was to save our father. A lot of happenings going on at the castle, which is going to have to wait as we make a quick return trip to Limblen. Again, completely optional. You don't have to do this at all, but it's kind of nice to see the big, rich city that doesn't have a big cloud hanging over it, like Brannick does. I guess those soldiers are just happy that they escaped with their lives, because it sounds like they were all working for the king. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe they did try and do something, and now they're just intimidated. They're all going to be emasculated when they find out that a 10-year-old boy such as myself goes in and saves the entire land, or so I hope. It could go the other way and I could get completely wiped out, and he could just raze the entire land to the ground. You would think if you wanted to take over a place, you would want people alive to worship you and to keep your kingdom thriving, but what do I know? I'm not royalty or anything. Here is the queen, exactly where we left her on her little throne. Could it be that King Bigus is the one who freed Fargo to torment us? I wonder what schemes Bigus is hatching now. His greed is limitless. We owe you so much, Master Brian. Now, I must assemble the troops and prepare to defend the land. Well, good for you for actually doing something. She is a lot nicer to us now that we actually helped her. because she certainly wasn't the nicest person to talk to the last time we spoke with her. And I guess just for some bonus content, we can talk to her son, although I really could care less about what he has to say since he's just a boy, really. What? You really defeated Fargo? Wow, maybe I should become a magician instead of king. Then I could defend our village against all enemies. I hate to break it to you, but I am the child prodigy. I am the chosen magician who can't open doors, which is for some reason only really an issue in this castle of all places. But I'm getting out of this crappy castle. I'm gonna get my wings and I'm going to go back to Brannick. Not without getting lost first, of course. I don't even know why I bothered going in that door. I guess I was under the impression that I was already on the bottom floor, since this is the door I need to go through. Maybe I'll be king once I kill Bigus. Maybe I'll just steal his crown and rule in his place. Wouldn't that be something? Although I don't look very powerful. I think that's one of those little nitpicky type things that has spoiled me about modern gaming, is just that Brian doesn't look powerful. Nothing has changed in terms of appearance. When we started the game, he doesn't have an awesome golden staff. He hasn't grown any taller. He hasn't changed his clothes. Like, there's nothing about him that makes you really feel powerful. Although your power is demonstrated when you actually fight enemies, which is a good thing, of course. So there's our wings, which we'll probably never use again because we have absolutely no purpose in coming back to Limblen. I think if you talk to the townspeople, they all pretty much say the same thing about Fargo that they had before you defeated him, but I guess I can talk to one of the kids just to see. Mom's always afraid of everything. I don't want to go home. Okay, so he does say something different, which is good. Come on and join us. We're practicing our surprise attack on Fargo. Or maybe they don't. For some reason I thought they said something different, but that was a few videos ago. Apparently the queen hasn't bothered to tell her people that Fargo has been defeated. But that's her problem, not mine. Fargo's old news. We took care of him in a hurry. I guess I'll grab some black wings just for good measure, although I don't see how I'm going to be able to use them, seeing as how I'm going to the castle. And you can only use wings in wide open spaces. But that's just habit, is just picking up items. Just in case I ever need them. There is nothing to collect in this village. There are no chests, there are no spirits, and if you feel like it, you can talk to a couple of other people in the town, but in my opinion, it's not really worth it. A lot of the doors are actually locked, and you can't actually visit them, so there's only a couple of houses, and again, they're kind of just repeating the same dreary, I'm sad that the king is going to destroy us all type dialogue. So I say we get on with the action, and we move on through the big gates on our way to the enormous castle, which you can probably see in the background. And I'm not gonna lie, it actually looks very menacing, so I think this is gonna be really exciting. On this big linear path, you can also be attacked by an array of new and old enemies. The Gloom Wings are new. They're a variety of flying enemy, of course, and we also have the ogres, which we were seeing in Brannoch Port. Now, of course, at this point, I'm just using Avalanche to get rid of them in a hurry. It works very well, actually. We also have these fish-type enemies, which I actually find to be a pain. For some reason, they just seem to have a lot of HP. They do water damage though, so they're not overly devastating. But in a big group like this, I find them really, really annoying to get rid of. Especially when my rocks keep missing, or when the enemies dodge. It's really easy for the battles to kind of go sideways really fast in this area, just in my opinion anyways. But on the bright side, it is actually a very good place to grind. You've got a wide variety of enemies that are all pretty tough, and it gives you a good opportunity to get prepared before you go to the castle, which has a couple of more enemies and more of them as well. I don't think we're going to be seeing any new enemy types with the exception of the last couple of bosses in the game, so no surprises there. I came out here in between recordings and I was able to collect 2 more spirits. I now have 44 points in my water element. My HP is at an even 240 and I was able to gain 2 MP as well, I think. I didn't do a lot of grinding, but I thought a little bit would be a good idea. Of course, we have the Red Rose Knights once again, who I think I'm just going to run away from because they are so devastating. Now, if you hadn't got the tip-off from the knight in Brannick, you'd probably walk up to the front of the castle and try to get in, only to find that, of course, the castle is closed for good reason if King Bigus is planning on destroying everybody. Luckily, we know of a way around, actually. There's a secret, or not so secret entrance, I should say, to the back of the castle, over to the southwest. Once you come into this area, I find that the monster encounters actually stop altogether. So you're able to come through this area, maneuver your way around somewhat peacefully, although the scenery isn't too much to look at. And they left the gate right open for us, so that was really nice. Thanks, guys. I think I'll storm into your castle. Gives you a great opportunity to heal up and to go back on that long road and grind if you feel like it. The door inside the castle is here. However, we want to go all the way around to collect 1 of 3 spirits, the final 3 spirits in the game. So it's completely optional at this point, now that we've maxed out 2 elements, if you want to pick up the final spirits or not. But I don't see why you wouldn't bother, although I guess it depends on how much you want to finish the game or how unnecessary you think the spirits are, but seriously, every little spirit helps. And so I'm going to pick up the final ones. The castle is also riddled with tons of treasure, so we're going to do that in the next episode. We're going to step through the door, enter the castle, and we will be beginning the finale of Quest 64. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.